Alright, here we are. Day 85. It is the first day of winter, which means we are closing in on the end of our first year. It has been quite the adventure so far, and I'm really excited to see what happens during this season. We start off with a cutscene featuring the governor's wife and son. They have arrived at the bus stop and are waiting for Lewis. As the mayor of Pelican Town, surely Lewis has made sure he is there to greet them on time and provide them with the warmest of welcomes, right? No, of course not. He is late, which honestly I am not surprised by. I don't really know where my sudden intense dislike of Lewis has come from. Normally I'm directing this sort of frustration and anger and annoyance towards Clint. Anyway, let's not waste any more time talking about our wonderful mayor. Let's rewind time a little bit. On the last day of fall, I was able to find the final artifact that Daya asked for. I'm very excited to see where this storyline is going, so of course, the very first thing I do this morning is drop that artifact off. I must return tomorrow to continue this mysterious adventure. I send my hoe to Clint. I don't plan on planting any seeds during winter, besides some winter seeds so I can get the winter forage I need for the community center. So I can do without it for a couple of days. Going from one expansion mod to the other, I head to Duran's Rest where I buy 4 dwarven yeast. I need these to make the item Duran asked for. I have some wonderful news now, as the trees in the greenhouse have fully grown, which means we can start collecting fruit from them. I am eternally grateful for Grandpa's shed, as I would not have been able to get the fruit I need for the community center without it. I find the shadow guy hiding behind a bush and he gives me the magnifying glass. This allows us to collect and read secret notes. I'm not sure if the Ridgeside Village or East Scarp mod adds more secret notes to the game. Hopefully they do. It would be a lot of fun discovering any new secrets they reveal. I headed to Marnie's shop where she is nowhere to be found. I do not enjoy stealing, unless it is from Pierre or Harvey of course, but stealing some wool helps to alleviate the frustration I feel when Marnie lets me down like this. I do a bit of frolicking through the big forest collecting winter forage and having a jolly good time. I head to a place I have become very familiar with, the river in front of Leah's cabin. I decide to spend the remainder of the day fishing here. With a new season comes a new batch of fish that I must obtain for community center purposes. I have put way too much time and way too much effort into fishing during this playthrough so far. As a result, I refuse to miss out on any fish that I need to donate. I would be so upset if that happened, so I'm going to do everything in my power to ensure there is not even a sliver of a chance of that happening. And if I'm being honest, fishing has become somewhat therapeutic for me. It's a nice break from the usual hustle and bustle. My mind can finally be completely emptied during this time and I can simply relax. On the morning of day 86, I replace the machines for what I believe is the final time. The next item we get should be the one Duran asked for. I pop into my keg shed where I collect the pale ale that was brewing here. So during fall, I bought 10 oak resin from Robin and donated them to the community center. I still feel bad about doing this, so to make up for it, I have taken 10 oak resin out of the chest beside my tree farm and tossed them into the trash. It's difficult to explain exactly why, but I felt like I cheated by buying the 10 oak resin. As a certified Stardew Valley scallywag, it feels weird saying that making an aspect of the game easier has made me feel bad, but, you know, as Patrick Star once said, the inner machinations of my mind are an enigma. Anywhomst, I make a recycling machine. I can toss newspaper into it and I might get cloth in return. Let's cast our minds back to fall one more time. I completed a quest that resulted in the minecart system in Ridgeside Village being repaired. This is the result of that. This is pretty nifty, I will say. I have a feeling I will be going to the big forest area here and the entrance to it is located right beside the shop, so this should save us just a little bit of time. I head to the house Geo lives in. There is a note waiting for me. It instructs me to return here after 8 PM. That is no problem at all. I can do a little bit of lollygagging in the meantime. Robin is nowhere to be found in her shop, but it does not feel right shoplifting here after the tremendous work she has done on her farm. I pass the time by fishing at the mountain lake before heading to the forest in Ridgeside Village. Here I am introduced to Belinda. She is the seer for the red-tailed lady. I do not know what that means, but I am already invested. Belinda's mission is to find the spirit realm and cleanse the spiritual corruption in this mountain. Oh, okay, so it's not a forest, it's a mountain. Okay, my bad. Belinda says we are special and have an interesting aura which can only mean one thing. She is about to ask us to collect several items and bring them to her. We return to the house where Belinda thanks us for collecting the artifacts for her. She and her children have spent years trying to decipher that book but had no luck. So she is very impressed that we were able to do it and use the information inside the book to find the artifacts. Yeah, I didn't read the book, I just kinda walked around the mountain and hoped for the best. And I also used the wiki page, so I appreciate what you're saying, but it's not true. I'm not special. Bliss, Daya, and Geo have all shown up. They have brought artifacts with them. Apparently, Belinda now has everything she needs to open the spirit realm. Just a heads up, this cutscene features flashing lights at times, so I'm going to cut them out. So if it looks like the footage has jumped ahead a bit, that's the reason why. It's probably a really small thing that I don't have to worry about, but I also don't want to run the risk of hurting anybody's eyes. Anywhomst, Belinda did open a portal, but it disappeared again almost immediately afterwards. Suddenly, a voice can be heard. The voice tells Belinda that the portal is unstable, so it has to be closed again. Belinda recognizes this voice. Apparently it is somebody called Ray. Ray says she wants to talk privately to Belinda and me. Yeah, we're absolutely going to have to collect some items very soon. I've developed a bit of a sixth sense for this kind of thing. Belinda refers to Ray as her beloved. I am immensely intrigued now. I want to know all of the lore. Is this a lover's quarrel we are witnessing between the two? Maybe? Belinda tells us to meet her children at the Ridge Forest tomorrow. Okay, wait, so there's a forest and a mountain? Alright, it turns out I wasn't wrong after all when I called it a forest. This might get confusing, so here's what we're going to do. The area we're in now with the house and these characters, I'm going to call this place the forest. The area where I collected all of the artifacts during fall, that's the mountain. Thank you for clearing that up, Belinda. That would have gotten very confusing very quickly. Anyway, that's it for today. Clint sends my hoe back to me on day 87. I head into Marnie's and buy heaters. It is winter, so I want to make sure my animals are nice and toasty inside the coops and barns. I ask Marnie to add 4 cows to the second barn I had built, do a bit of fishing at the mountain lake with a focus on catching lingcod, and ask Robin to upgrade one of the barns. I dig up an artifact spot and get a snow yam. Sweet, now I can make winter seeds. I plant the seeds, then I sprinkle some speed grow on them. The dwarven porter Doran asked for is finally ready, so I collect it, do a teeny bit of foraging, and run as quickly as I possibly can to Doran's home. I give him the dwarven porter and he starts talking about how we should make a dwarven still and use it to make another item. There's a bunch of steps involved in this, and honestly I don't want to make these items anymore. It's been fun, don't get me wrong, but we have made so many of them already. That, and I didn't get a new quest from Doran, so I don't think he actually wants the item that this new machine makes. Another little foraging session takes place. I will jump on any opportunity I get to grab more forage. Then I head to the forest as Belinda requested. Belinda dismisses her 3 children. That's what she calls them anyway. I don't know if they're like biological children of hers, or if it's like she's the leader of a group and she just calls them her children, or I don't know what I'm saying. Belinda says we have to offer certain items to the crystals located around the mountain in order to restore their magic and work towards opening a stronger portal to the spirit realm. We must offer 30 items that are the same color as each crystal. So, for example, we can grab 30 cranberries from the storage shed and offer them to the red crystal. This one shouldn't be too difficult if that's the case. I probably have 30 of each colored item I'll need for this. We need 30 blue, green, yellow, orange, and red items for the corresponding crystals. Oh yeah, I definitely have what I need already. This is a lovely development, I must say. It turns out there are 2 more colors, grey and purple. Stone and eggplants, easy. After collecting the items I need for this quest, I plant some winter seeds, then I return to the mountain and donate 30 cranberries to take care of the first crystal. I find a golden pumpkin, nice, donate 30 stone to the second crystal, eggplants to the third crystal, blueberries to the fourth crystal, fiber to the 5th crystal, sap to the 6th crystal, and pumpkins to the 7th and final crystal. After doing this, we hear a voice telling us to return here tomorrow. Bliss visits the farm on day 88 and lets us know that the seer will be waiting for us in the forest after 8 PM. I head to the greenhouse where I collect 3 of each fruit that are growing on trees here. I think it's safe to say that I'm guaranteed to get all the fruit I need before the end of winter, so that is quite the relief, I must say. A very short cutscene featuring Kiwi the Junimo plays. They simply say, and that's it. I'm already invested in whatever is going on with Kiwi. Demetrius has a special order for us. He wants us to catch 10 squid. I need to donate 10 squid, so I might as well accept this one. I buy 2 battery packs from Clint and check out the wares that the dwarf is selling. I need to get my hands on 25 cave carrots in order to make 25 survival burgers for donation purposes. I could have sworn the dwarf had cave carrot seeds for sale, but I guess not. Maybe somebody else is selling them? I know for a fact I've seen them being sold, I just can't remember which shop I saw them in. After having no luck in Piers, I visit the Shadow Market, but Balor is not selling these seeds either. It's okay though, I do have a plan B when it comes to getting cave carrots. In the meantime, I visit Balor, who has a quest for us. He wants us to give 12 juniper berries to Durin. This is actually an amazing quest for us. The reason for that being, one of the trees I planted in the greenhouse is the juniper berry tree. I've already been collecting them and I can easily continue doing so until I obtain all 12 that are required. Back on the farm, I make 2 slime egg presses. I have the option of donating a red and a blue slime egg for one of the bundles. I don't have to donate either, as I only have to donate 6 of the 8 items in the bundle. But if I get one or both of these eggs, I certainly will not complain. In the saloon, I buy 25 bread from Gus. I also pick up the triple shot espresso recipe. It is time for the plan B I mentioned earlier today. I buy some bombs and mega bombs from the dwarf, use the elevator to go down to floor 15 and place a bomb on the patch of dirt. Doing this results in us getting 2 or 3 cave carrots each time. I repeat this process over and over until I get all of the cave carrots I need. I head to the beach where I spend some time catching even more fish, then it's off to the forest where Belinda is waiting for us. She activates a portal of some kind. A voice calls out Belinda's name. Belinda immediately recognizes this voice as Ray's voice. Belinda disappears and Bliss says she went to the waterfall across the bridge to the west of here, so that is where I go. It is here where I finally meet Ray for the first time. Ray asks us if we think it's strange that crops and forage grow so fast around the valley. It turns out it is because of her. She then says she is kidding. Or is she? A bit of bickering takes place between Ray and Belinda in regards to Ray shutting down Belinda's portal in the past. We then move to an area with several podiums. Then we are bestowed with some sweet backstory. Our grandmother worked with Belinda and Ray in the past. She used these podiums to create a portal to the spirit realm. She entered and was successful in helping to ensure that the corruption is restricted to the mountain and only the mountain. Unfortunately, she left the world a few seasons later, the price she paid in order to save the world essentially. Now it is time for us to finish what our grandmother started. We need to enter the spirit realm and get rid of the corruption entirely from the valley. However, in order for Ray to be able to open a portal for us to enter, we must find a few relics and place them on the podiums here. The bad news is, Ray does not know which relic goes on which podium, so we will have to guess where they go when we get them. Trial and error, basically. It shouldn't take too long for us to figure it out after we retrieve these relics. And that is it for today. I wanted to ask Robin to add a pond to the farm on day 89, but I am broke. I didn't even realize I had almost no money left until right now. I sell 107 Joja berry starters to Pierre and buy sugar and wheat flour for the cooking of dishes in the future. I return to Robin's and actually have her build the pond this time. Then I rush to the forest. I am very excited to learn more about the spirit realm, so I will not be doing any dilly-dallying when it comes to gathering all of the relics Ray needs. I take a look at a book in the house which provides details about where to find these relics. I'm going to be completely honest here. I'm just going to look at the Ridgeside Village wiki page so I can find these relics. I don't have a good excuse for doing this either, I'm just feeling very lazy. In the hotel here in Richside Village, I swing my axe at a painting on the wall. I receive the ancient music box for doing this. At the cliff to the right of the cable car, I dig up a patch of dirt between the tree and the bench to get the moose statue. I grab my watering can from my farm, then it is back to the village where I obtain Everfrost Stone, the village hero sculpture, and the sapphire pearl. I bump into Bliss outside an abandoned greenhouse. She says we should return to this greenhouse at midnight if we want to save a lost soul. I retrieve the elven comb and the opal halo. Opal? You know what, I don't think it matters what it's called. Anyway, at around 1 AM, I enter the abandoned greenhouse. A cold chill runs down my spine. We feel some sort of presence here, maybe some sort of spirit. Then we pass out. The results of the slime egg press are revealed on day 90. I received 2 green eggs. I do not need even one of this egg, but there's still plenty of time left for me to try to get a red or blue egg again, so I'm not worried. Another fruit collection session takes place in Grandpa's shed. I have 6 of every fruit that I'm growing here except for pomegranate and juniper berries. I have 5 juniper berries, I'm not sure what happened to that missing one. But I do have 12 pomegranates. I think what has happened is the foraging perk that gives us a chance to get 2 of any forage item I pick up has only applied to the pomegranate tree for some reason. I think that's what happened anyway. Or maybe the pomegranate tree just gives double fruit by default for whatever reason. With adrenaline in my soul, I make my way to Richside Village. Bliss is waiting for us outside the greenhouse. She informs us that the greenhouse itself is stuck between the spirit realm and the physical realm. She encourages us to return here at midnight to investigate further. Yeah, look, one of the relics I need is inside this greenhouse, so can I just pop inside and grab it really quickly? No? No, okay. Okay, I see how it is. Let's move on to the 8th relic. For this one, I head into the forest and stand in front of this statue here. According to my sources, aka the Richside Village Wiki, I must remain here without moving for 2 minutes. I do so and I receive the relic Fox Mask. Now, when it comes to the executive decisions I make, many of them are big. In fact, all of them are big. However, every one of those pales in comparison to the one I have just made. I have decided to spend not just the rest of today fishing, but also days 91 through 97 fishing. The reason for this being I not only need to finish off catching some winter fish, but I also need to grab quite a few of each of the fish that are included in the specialty fish bundle. The following fish were caught during this period of time: squid, perch, herring, ghostfish, stonefish, ice pip, wood skip, sandfish, and scorpion carp. All that is left for me to do is to get 5 spookfish, which can only be done during the night market, which takes place on the 15th, 16th, and 17th of winter. During this fishing period, I harvested the winter forage that was growing and asked Robin to upgrade my house twice. I also made sure that my animals were looked after and collected all of the milk they produce. And I continued collecting fruit from the trees in the greenhouse. I would like to clarify one more thing. I did not go into the abandoned greenhouse in Richside Village and grab the relic, or give 12 juniper berries to Durin. I wanted to wait until things were back to normal before I did either of those things. Thank you all for indulging me there. I hope that wasn't too boring. Let us get back to the gameplay. I'm going to begin day 98 by showing you all some important items I have stored. In chest number 1, I have placed the items I need to make artichoke dip and survival burgers. That is 2 of the 6 dishes needed for the community center. I also have pale ale, and I can easily get some coffees and use them to make espressos when it comes time to donate these items. So that's actually 4 of the 6 dishes sorted. I must brainstorm the final 2 and above all else, hope that I can complete the cooking bundle. Like I said, I did not grab the final relic from the greenhouse, so I still have the 8 relics, which is still a very nice position to be in. I've taken all of the gold eggs I need and put them into a chest along with the winter forage, cloth, fruit, mail, duck feathers and cheese I have collected. I bought 20 casks from Robin during that fishing period. Now what I need to do is ask her to add a cellar to the house so I can throw my casks into the cellar, throw my cheese into them and leave them be until they reach gold star quality. I also have 11 of the 12 juniper berries I need, which means I will get the final one today. I make 20 artichoke dips, 10 espressos, and 25 survival burgers. I collect the 12th juniper berry from the greenhouse and enter the community center where I donate the 3 items I just made along with pale ale, oranges, and wool. I also donate cherries, peaches, and apricots, completing the artisan bundle. Finally, I donate large white eggs and mayonnaise to the animal bundle, and I complete the winter foraging bundle. The foraging room is now done and dusted. 3 rooms down, 3 to go. I grab some Joja berry starters from a chest, grab some cloth for my looms, send my hoe to Clint so he can upgrade it, and sell my Joja berry starters to Pierre. I then turn around and immediately ruin my financial position by spending 100,000 gold to have Robin add the cellar to the house. It's off to Durin's Rest now, where I give the juniper berries to Durin. He is very pleased, but more so than that, he is very impressed that I was able to get these. He tells us he has something to show us upstairs. After following him up there, he talks to us about a diary that belonged to his father. One thing in this diary has especially stuck out to Durin. His father wrote, "Only when I return home, put down the axe and take up the hoe, will I truly be a champion." Durin's father built secret bunkers around the town many years ago. One of these bunkers is an underground greenhouse. We go back downstairs and Durin presses a button which causes an elevator to rise up from the ground outside our farm here. Of course, the first thing I do following all of this is use the elevator to enter this underground greenhouse. It is massive, and I mean massive. There are 4 big patches of land where we can plant crops, and there are 20 spaces for us to plant tree saplings. It was worth it. Everything we did here in Durin's Rest, all of the monsters we defeated, all of the items we gave to Durin, all of the machines we made, it was all worth it. There is a second floor with the exact same layout, another 4 big patches of land for crops, and another 20 spaces for tree saplings. There's also another floor, and another, and one more. There are 5 floors in this greenhouse. Now, I'm no mathematician, but if I was to estimate, I would say we can plant around 900, maybe 1000 seeds on each floor. We can also plant 20 tree saplings on each floor, which means we can plant 4,500 to 5,000 seeds and 100 tree saplings in this greenhouse. I grab my Joja berry starters and ancient seeds along with 10 iridium sprinklers from the storage shed. I collect more seeds from the chest beside our seed makers and pick up a further 34 iridium sprinklers lying around the farm. I toss some items into the shipping bin, then I venture forth into the greenhouse in Ridgeside Village. The spirit here is very happy that we have returned. Apparently, the purple man and lady are keeping them captive here because they gave the spirit a challenge and they failed this challenge. The spirit asks us to complete the challenge for them, hoping that this will result in them being set free. I use my watering can on the statue at the top of the greenhouse to obtain the final relic. Then I take a look at this challenge we have been given. We have to collect 25 mountain mistbloom, that's going to be easy. Collecting 5 rubies will also be easy. Unfortunately though, there is no way I will be able to collect 10 sweet gem berries before winter is over. So I guess the spirit will have to wait until next year to be freed. I actually feel bad for the spirit. I will complete this challenge as soon as I can in spring of year 2. On day 99, I do something which I cannot believe I have not done yet. I go to the beach area on the farm and break open the supply crates that washed up on the shore. This provides us with a ton of nice items. Bombs, artifact troves, dishes, and triple shot espressos are all added to our inventory. Nautilus shells are also in plentiful supply here, which is absolutely sensational news as I have to donate 10 of them. I stayed on this beach until around 11 AM, at which point I left and went to the forest. And so begins the trial and error portion of the quest I was given. Basically, I put a relic on a podium, and if it lights up, the relic stays on that podium. If not, then I must remove it and try it on a different podium. It doesn't take too long for me to get this done, and when I do, Ray appears and thanks me for my hard work. The rest of the adventurers, no, you know what? Heroes. The rest of the heroes show up too, at which point Ray creates a portal that will allow us to access the spirit realm. As the descendant of our grandmother, we are the only person who is able to venture inside and cleanse the corruption for good. We're going to be looking for purple flames inside here, which we must extinguish. Right, no more lollygagging. Let's do this. I head inside and find myself in the mythical spirit realm. Similar to the mountains, there are many monsters here. What we now have to do is interact with a green crystal to teleport to another green crystal and basically just hope we get lucky and find all of the purple flames. The green crystals really confused me. I had a lot of difficulty making my way around this map. I will save you all the details of the hardships I endured here. Long story short, I extinguished most, but not all, of the purple flames. At 8 PM I remembered that the night market is open, so I used a warp totem to go to Durin's Rest. From there I went to the bus stop and hopped into a minecart at the bus stop to get to town and walked the rest of the way to the beach. I did accept a special order along the way to get ectoplasm for the wizard. Again, I will do my very best to make sure I complete this one. The rest of the night is spent fishing in the submarine. I was able to catch one and then a second spookfish before the night ended. Clint has sent our hoe back to us on day 100. I take a long walk to the desert as I wanted to buy deluxe speed grow from Sandy. Upon entering her shop, I am hit with the unfortunate news that she is not selling deluxe speed grow. Today is Tuesday. She sells it on Thursdays. I have goofed. Pierre also is not selling it. I already knew he wouldn't be, but I was hoping for a miracle. A miracle that, alas, did not occur. I buy a bus ticket in order to get to Calico Desert, then I get right back on the bus because I realized I am not as prepared as I want to be for the Skull Cavern run I plan on doing today. I head to the mines and buy bombs and miner's treats from the dwarf. Then I head back to the desert, drink a monster musk, and head inside. The first floor is the spiral floor, which is dreadful. There is no other way to put it. It takes longer than I would have liked for me to get to floor 2, but that's no big deal. You see, I'm not here to get down to the lowest floor I can. Instead, my goal is to try to get Rabbit's Foot. I need to donate 3 of these, and the serpents here have a chance to drop it when you defeat them. I wasn't able to get one here today before I used a warp totem to leave and go to the beach, but at least I know that defeating the serpents is really easy thanks to her sword. It takes 2 hits to take them out, so I will definitely come back here a few more times and try to get at least 2 of the elusive Rabbit's Foot. I do some fishing in the submarine and catch a spookfish. Nice. We have the 3 spookfish we need. I have no reason to spend any more time in the submarine, so I leave and call it a day. Day 101 has arrived, and with it comes the moment I, and maybe some of you, have been waiting for. It is time to donate all of the fish that are needed for the community center. I am experiencing a very real sense of pride and accomplishment as I complete the river fish bundle, then the ocean fish bundle, then the lake fish bundle, then the night fishing bundle. To the surprise of absolutely nobody at this point, I'm sure, I have made a massive mistake. I thought I needed 3 spookfish. It turns out, I need 5. I'm going to focus on the positive here. This is not the end of our dream to complete the community center in its entirety. The night market will be open tonight for the final time this year, so as long as I'm able to catch 2 more spookfish, everything will be okay. I grab my casks and cheeses from a chest and head into the newly built cellar. I toss the cheese into the casks that are already here, then I place more I'm not going to say that word anymore. C-A-S-K-S. I can barely pronounce that word. I can barely pronounce the letters when I'm spelling out the word, so I'm not going to say that word anymore. I place those things down and toss the goat cheese into them. Now we must play the waiting game. Once these reach gold star quality, I will collect and donate them. I use the portal to enter the spirit realm, and again, I'm not going to show me running around the place and getting very confused and lost. I'll just cut right to the chase. I was able to extinguish the remaining purple flames here, and when I did, I heard a voice. Gabriella, the person or spirit or entity responsible for the corruption here, has been defeated. With her grasp on the valley removed, the mountain now looks completely different and the spirits that were trapped here have been set free. In other words, we just saved the world.
What can I say? It's no big deal, you know what I'm saying? It's just part of the job. That's what I do.
I am never, ever, for as long as I live, ever going to use that voice ever again. I am so sorry to anybody who is listening right now and had to hear that. Belinda and Ray thank us for the work we have done here. Hey, no problem, it was an absolute pleasure. I will say, this entire storyline was a lot of fun to play through. I really enjoyed all of it. The summit of the mountain has revealed itself according to Ray. There is a house up there that belongs to an old couple who were trapped there when the corruption took over the mountain. Ray would appreciate it if we visit the old couple to see if they are okay. Belinda has decided to give Gio and Daya the responsibility of keeping the mountain safe. Nice, I think that means they're going to stay here in Ridgeside Village and we can become friends with them. Daya thanks us for the work we have done. Then Gio says he is very grateful for what we have done too. Maybe I was wrong about him. Perhaps he isn't my nemesis as I thought when I originally met him. Oh, nope, never mind, he still does not trust us. Okay, well, that sucks, but you know, what can you do? Anyway, I teleport to the beach where the most intense fishing experience of my life takes place inside the submarine. I catch the 4th spookfish, then at almost 1 AM I catch the 5th spookfish. I feel so relieved right now. I've got a ton of adrenaline flowing through my body right now, so I harness that adrenaline and use it as a source of motivation to get to the community center before I pass out at 2 AM. I arrive at 1:50 AM and donate the 5 spookfish. The fishing bundles have now been entirely completed. I could cry right now, that is how happy I am. But there is no time for crying as there are still plenty of things for us to do before the end of this wonderful, action-packed, and chaotic year. I do a bit of gallivanting around the beach area on the farm on day 102. Nautilus shells are a top priority right now, so I reckon I shall be doing this a couple more times before winter ends. Which I do not mind at all, it is very satisfying collecting these shells and especially breaking those supply crates. I sell some crappie whoppies to Pierre, then as it is Thursday, I go to Sandy's shop in the desert and buy 800 deluxe speed grow. 2 new locations have been added to the Ridgeside minecart, East Summit Farm and West Summit Farm. I choose the west and I believe I have found myself at the house that Ray said belonged to the old couple. Inside the house I find a note. You can pause to read the note in its entirety if you like. The gist of it is the old couple who lived here were sealed away from the rest of the world. One day a purple mist approached their farm. Nature itself came alive and encased the farm in high walls of soil, plants and trees. They tried to take down this wall but were not successful in doing so. They weren't angry at being trapped, however. In their eyes, this massive wall wasn't trapping them but rather keeping them safe from the purple mist. They end the note by saying that this farm now belongs to whoever reads this note. First of all, sweet, we just got a new farm. Secondly, I don't know if it's just me, but that whole thing about them being trapped by a giant wall of soil, trees and plants, that is nightmare fuel. I can't even imagine being in that position. That sounds horrible. So I very much respect the fact that they were able to view it as a positive thing. That could not be me. The area surrounding the farm is very beautiful in my opinion. I don't think I'll plant crops here anytime soon, but I'm looking forward to making the old couple proud with what I eventually do with the farm. In case anybody is wondering, the entrance to this farm is located at the north of the mountain where we collected those artifacts. We can now accept special orders in the house in the forest. I look forward to accepting these special orders and then forgetting to do them. I enter the greenhouse in Durin's Rest and place sprinklers down. 9 iridium sprinklers cover 1 patch of land. If my math is correct, that means we can plant 216 seeds in one of these patches. With 4 patches on each level, that is 864 seeds per level. So all 5 levels gives us space to plant 4,320 seeds. That is going to be a lot of ancient fruit and joja berries. The rest of the day, as well as days 103 and 104, are spent planting ancient seeds and joja berry starters on the first floor. The Odd Jobs team in Ridgeside Village has sent us a letter on day 105. They have been informed that we now own the house at the summit in Ridgeside Village. They can renovate the place for us if we provide them with enough money. I shall keep this in mind. I harvest some pearls and send one to Willy. If you've watched my videos before, then you probably know that I consider Willy to be one of the best characters in the game. I've also made jokes before about how this character or that character is my favorite villager in the entire game. This time I'm being 100% serious. Willy is my favorite villager. And truthfully, it's not even close. After learning how to make pumpkin pie, I make 15 of them. I collect a nautilus shell at the beach, then I head to the Desert Trader where I discover that the crafting recipe for the Desert Warp Totem can be purchased for 10 iridium bars. I thought it was 5. I remember I accepted a special order from the wizard to bring him an ectoplasm, so I head to the mines where the very first ghost I defeat drops the ectoplasm. Neat. I buy a rare crow from the travelling cart, deliver the ectoplasm to the wizard and walk to the desert. The good thing about this walk is it gives me the chance to defeat some slimes which drop, well, slime. These can be tossed into the slime egg press which will hopefully give us a blue or red slime egg in the future. To finish off the day, I trade 10 iridium bars for the Desert Warp Totem. On day 106 we have a kerfuffle on our hands. The cooked dishes bundle might be an issue. I have the pumpkin pies, so we need to get our hands on one more dish. Right off the bat, truffle oil is out the window. I don't have pigs, so I can't make truffle oil. The shrimp cocktail recipe is unlocked by watching the Queen of Sauce show on the 28th day of winter in year 2. That one is also out the window. We need garlic to make escargot, which we do not have, so again, we cannot make this dish. That leaves us with the final dish, lobster bisque. This one only requires lobster and milk, which we have. Unfortunately though, this recipe is unlocked by watching the Queen of Sauce TV show on the 14th day of winter in year 2. Or after reaching 9 hearts with a specific villager. Which means we are all good. I have the recipe for lobster bisque. You see, that specific villager is the one villager whose birthday I will never forget. They are the one villager who I will always make time for. The one villager who I will always go out of my way to talk to and to give gifts to. Gifts like sturgeon and pearls, which I have acquired quite a few of thanks to my fishing expeditions and the pearl seeds that grow on the farm. They are my favorite villager in the entire game. Willy. Willy sends you the recipe for lobster bisque when you reach 9 hearts of friendship with him. So when exactly did he send me the recipe? This morning. Yeah, that was pretty good timing. Anyway, the entire day was spent in the Skull Caverns and I was able to get a rabbit's foot today too. Beautiful. I place more slime into the slime egg press on day 107. Mr. Key has sent us 10,000 gold for reaching floor 25 in the Skull Cavern. Thank you, Mr. Key. My bank account was not looking sensational in any way, shape or form, so this was very much needed. I make 5 lobster bisque and collect the 10th and final nautilus shell I need at the beach area. A rabbit's foot, gold star large eggs, gold star duck eggs, wool and duck feathers are ready to collect in our coop. I toss the wool into looms in order to get some cloth and I take a look at a chest containing some animal products. I'm feeling good about the cloth and rabbit's foot situation. I feel like I'll be able to reach 3 rabbit's foot and 50 cloth without too much hassle. I don't think I'll be able to get 10 duck feathers before winter ends, but they belong to a bundle that lets me pick and choose what I want to donate and which 2 items I want to leave out. Finally, the gold star duck eggs. I'm slightly nervous about them, though I am hopeful that I will be able to get enough of them by the end of this week. I use the Look Up Anything mod to see what slime eggs are being produced. The first is a purple egg. That's not what I need, but it's still cool all the same. The second slime egg is the blue one. Nice. I donate lobster bisque, pumpkin pie, and nautilus shells to the bounty board bundles. All I have to do is donate 2 of the 5 items you see on the screen right now. A blue slime egg is being produced, so we just need 1 more item. The gold star requirement is actually making this really difficult. I'm legitimately worried about this bundle. I've got 1 gold star large milk and large goat milk in one barn, and 7 milk and 2 goat milk in the other barn. We're just playing the waiting game now and hoping we end up with enough of either of these to donate, along with what will hopefully be enough duck eggs on the last day of winter. Moving on now, I buy some coffees in the saloon, turn them into triple shot espressos and warp to the desert. I spend the rest of the day in the Skull Caverns. I was not able to get a rabbit's foot, but I did get some cloth. Speaking of cloth, I collect some more from our looms on day 108. We have 2 squid ink in the chest beside our pond, but I'm almost positive I won't be donating this item. I collect the blue slime egg. Piers is closed, of course he is, so I end up tossing some items into the shipping bin as I am broke. Like, actually certified broke. I have 0 gold. In the cellar, I use my pickaxe to collect my gold star cheese and goat cheese. I donate the slime egg and this cheese to the community center. I am excited to finish the community center because that means I won't have to say community center anymore. I have lost count of how many times I've said it now. I head into the Skull Caverns where I decide to leave almost as soon as I enter. The reason for this being I don't have any bombs with me. I need those. I return a short while later feeling much more adequately prepared for this Skull Cavern malarkey session. I spend the rest of the day in here. Just like yesterday, I was not able to get a rabbit's foot, but I did get more cloth, so a win is a win. Day 109 is the Feast of the Winter Star Festival. I talk to the villagers before giving Evelyn a fairy rose. Then Caroline gives me a glow ring. I appreciate the thought. I buy some bombs from the dwarf and watch a cutscene where Willy gives us the copper pan. We can use this to do some panning. I'll be honest, the only time I use the copper pan is to get artifacts on Ginger Island. Oh, and I also wear it as a hat sometimes. I've got enough cloth to donate to the community center. That is all of the bounty board bundles completed. As long as our animals do not let us down, we will get the community center finished by the end of this week. Mayor Lewis sends us a letter on day 110. The items we have donated to the bounty board bundles were delivered to the villagers that wanted these items. This has earned us 2 hearts of friendship with the villagers. At least I think it's 2. In vanilla Stardew Valley it is, but I wonder if the challenging community center bundles mod has changed how many friendship hearts we get. Gus pays us a visit and gives us a wonderful piece of machinery. He gives us the jukebox. Gus is officially my 2nd favorite villager in the game. Just to give you all a progress update on our animal items, I need 3 more gold star duck eggs, 1 more rabbit's foot, and 12 more large milk or 13 more large goat milk. I am nervous about the milk. I head to the Odd Jobs building in Ridgeside Village because I want to see what exactly they meant when they said they can renovate our farm at the summit. It looks nice, it looks very nice even, but A, I cannot afford it right now, and B, I kinda like the aesthetic of the farm as it is right now. I will buy this renovation in the future, but for now I'm happy to stick with what I have. Also, it has just occurred to me that I never showed my greenhouse in Durin's Rest after I planted all of the Joja Berry starters and ancient seeds I have, so here you go. Joja Berry starters are like green bean seeds in the sense that you can't walk through them, hence the layout of the seeds here. I didn't want to accidentally block the way to some of these crops and end up not being able to harvest them when they have grown. That, and it also allowed me to plant ancient seeds with the Joja Berry starters. I did not plant any fruit tree saplings, but I will absolutely be doing that next year. The goal is to fill up every floor in this greenhouse with ancient fruit and Joja berries. I am drooling at the thought of how much money we will earn from harvesting all of those crops. As has become somewhat of a habit during the last few days, I warp to the desert and spend the remainder of the day in the Skull Cavern. I get a rabbit's foot on the 4th floor. Lovely, I've got all 3 I need. I spend some time with my animals on day 111. I'm trying to encourage them to give me the duck egg and large milks I need. And that is all I did today. Day 112 has arrived. The final day of our first year begins with a letter from Lenny who invites us to the Ember of Resolutions festival. It will be taking place in the Richside Village forest at 10 PM tonight. I go through the chests in my coop and barns and gather all of the duck eggs and large milks that have appeared. It is time for the moment of truth. I have 19 gold star duck eggs, 17 gold star large milks and 6 large goat milks. I don't have enough to complete the community center. If I had just one more duck egg and 3 more large milks, then I would have what I need, but should've, would've, could've. I donate the 3 rabbits' foot to the community center, and you know what? Is it disappointing that I wasn't able to finish off this last bundle? Yeah, of course it is. I was really hoping I would be able to get it done by the end of today. But at the same time, I feel like we've done pretty well when it comes to the community center. We came so very close to getting it all done, and hey, at least we can say we gave it our best shot, right? We gave it our all, and I'm proud of myself for getting as far as I have. I will admit, I did stand in my barn for 5 whole minutes hoping that 3 more milk would appear in the chest here, but of course that didn't happen. Anyway, let us make haste to the forest where the New Year's Eve party is taking place. I talked to the villagers here, sharing a moment of peace, relaxation and good vibes with them all. And that is the end of winter and the end of the year. We've done a lot during these last 112 days. We've conquered the mine's Endurance Rest. We've delivered some lovely food and drink items to Durin. We've become friends with everybody in Durin's Rest. And we gained access to a massive greenhouse there. We basically helped save the world in Richside Village and unlocked a new farm there. We repaired Grandpa's old shed and unlocked another greenhouse inside it. We have done so much and I have enjoyed every single second of it. I hope you have enjoyed watching my adventures in this massive modded playthrough. And with that, I must bid you all adieu. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.